So now we go to panel discussion. We have a very important question here. And now is the time for the reflection to the bigger question of the day. So let's hear from Morehouse. Kofi, would you like to share your thoughts, comments from Morehouse? And then the panelists also can.
And one of the things we found was, even though the opportunities were made available, we still didn't get enough student participation. It's this concept of working and studying abroad, in addition to medical school, I think has added more burden than most people wish to bear during their medical school years. So I just received a supplement to research what are the barriers, and a lot of the work you all have already done in your book that's coming out. I can't wait to see it and work with it to help figure out where the bottlenecks are so that we can open up opportunities for students and faculty to work and study abroad under a mentored research relationship.
Thank you. Any of our panelists want to chime in, or any, a scholar from the audience wants to share your effective programs or the signature programs related to study abroad or internationalization? In the room, we have also Dr. Ling Gao from Syracuse University. She's the Director of International Program and also work with the HBCUs and written a chapter. Any other colleagues in the room want to share?
So currently at my institution, I do not know of any internationalization initiatives, but when I was in grad school, I did my grad school at Mississippi State University, and I know they had study abroad offices and things like that that they were engaged in. But I think that really when we are looking at study abroad and having students move from, let's say, the United States elsewhere, there needs to be a campaign in terms of educating individuals on where it is that they are going. If we find that, a lot of places they are going to are more or less like the United States, maybe we want to look at exploring other countries that they may not necessarily have considered, but then maybe interested in going to. And I'm saying this also because when I was younger, when I was growing up in Ghana and I was at the University of Ghana for my undergrad, there was a group of students who used to come to the University of Ghana from the University of California school system, and they would come each semester to explore Ghana, to study for either a semester or a year. And I was one of the individuals that was kind of like one of the Ghanaians working with these international students to get them acclimated to Ghana and to take them to different places in Ghana. And how did they learn about that? They learned about that because there was an office that was dedicated to selling Ghana and the University of Ghana and the universities in Ghana to the students in that population. And so it's important that if we want to sell other destinations besides Europe to students as study abroad destinations, that we then market, because they need to see the reason why it's beneficial to go there. They need to see why it's important for them to connect to some of these other countries. They need to see what the benefit will be, what will be the rationale, how are they going to be safe, all of those things, that questions that people would have. And I know this once again because in my interactions with the students from the UC program, these were concerns their families had. These were, for some of them, these were concerns, the reasons why their parents will call them every day, like, are you safe? Because everybody seems to think that the minute you get to Africa, some lion is eating you up, but that's not the truth. Exactly. And so we need to be able to market and explain and let people feel safe first, and then I think they'll buy into that. So those were my 2 cents regarding that.
Dr. Bister, can I just add something?
Please, yes.
Okay, so I'm really happy to say that Morgan State University leads all the other HBCUs in the number of students who have participated in the Fulbright program. And I think that's quite an achievement. I just wanted to add that. And our largest international population comes from Africa, Sub-Saharan Africa, and from Saudi Arabia, actually.
Thank you.
Just from my experience, whenever I came India for my research studies, then I found myself that there are different cross-cultural identities. And similarly, academic and administrative practices and different opportunity dimensions regarding to teaching, research, and collaboration. This is most important part for us, like the researchers, for all academicians. And similarly, I found out in my observation in the university, where in this Chandigarh University, I found a greater movement, mobility of the faculties from here to other universities, different universities in US and Europe, similarly in other countries, in Nepal, in Bhutan. And the professors of that countries and that universities also had good mobility over here. Similarly, they have the student exchange program, similarly semester exchange program also they have been initiating that I found very good. And like they are also initiating different collaborative efforts in research, seminar, publications, and conferences. That's why here I found that these theme-based discussions and these collaborative efforts, and one very interesting thing I found here, one regarding to publication, for the faculties, they make the mandatory of Scopus-based indexed publications, by which their impact factor can be higher one, and they can have the higher level of the achievements. That's why this cross-cultural identities and new experiences, I'm getting this one, and by this thing, I could transform these abilities to my universities in Nepal. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Any other notes regarding the collaboration? Then the Dr. Kisa Abraham is ready. She will talk about her book and some of her observation, the programs, and internationalization, and she's at AIEA conference. Kisa, over to you.
Hi there. It's my mic was hiding there. It's so great that this event is happening. Thank you so much, Dr. Bishta, for this opportunity to speak a bit about another project that is highlighting the work that we're doing at our institutions to grow education abroad capacity. There is so much that we need to continue to do to uplift the capacity at HBCUs and worldwide for understanding our educational model. I'm a very proud alum of Spelman College and have taught at a range of different HBCUs in different capacities, working with people to really help us see what is beautiful about our experience at HBCUs and how that translates into a global context. So the book that we're working on right now, it's called The Half Yet to Be Told, Education Abroad at HBCUs. It involves, I think, a number of people on this call right now. And we try to engage with many institutions as possible, really talking about an assets-based approach to considering what's happening in education abroad for HBCUs in particular, because so much of the work that has happened prior to, I'd say, 2020, really, prior to that, so much of the work had really been looking at a deficit kind of model when we look at international education as a field of considering what happens at our institution type. So we know inside, right? We know at our schools what's beautiful about us. We know at our schools how important global learning is. We know at our schools the way that we have always been global, even if the stories haven't all been unified or synchronized, so that new faculty come in, new administration comes in and knows that we have this as a footprint. And so a lot of what the work is that we're currently trying to do, I think, is to really expand our sense of cultural engagement within our institution type, and then within the field of international education, so that what's beautiful about HBCU experiences in a global context can really be shared, valued, and appreciated to the best of its ability.
Thank you so much. I can speak of the Morgan State University. We have entire international affairs division of international affairs with the staff and program resources. We used to have around 1,000 international students. Right now, because of the pandemic, the number is declined, but we are working hard to increase the enrollment, also expanding programs. The university has opened a branch campus in Ghana, as well as many other collaboration in the Asian universities. Now we have about 20%, no, actually 40% international faculty, and also building relationship from their networks and expanding the program and the resources, and also opening a brand new interdisciplinary college with several doctoral, masters, and undergraduate programs on the top of existing programs and models. Okay, with that, any other questions we have, please use your digital hand raise or unmute your microphone and you can share your thoughts or comments. Okay, Dr. Lin Gao, I see.
Yes. So, okay. So, yeah, I want to follow up with what Dr. Brista just mentioned, how to empower international students. So right now in my new institution, Syracuse University, actually my role is very focusing, is on international student academic success. So I do not work in the International Affairs Center or International Student Service Center. My role is focused on academic success. So based on my research, also my work experience, I feel like international student academic learning is really an area that has been overlooked. So on many campuses, we have lots of traditional approaches. We have, international services office, international student office. We offer immigration advising. We have social groups. We have English, everything like that. However, how international students learn, how can they learn better? So how do they really learn in our classrooms? So that's the area I think that has been overlooked. And then, so in the past 2 years, basically, so I think that my institution right now, Syracuse University, took the initiative creating a position. So like this for international student success, my position is housed in College of Arts and Science, Maxwell School of Public Affairs. So in the past 2 years, I have learned so much. So, and then, and also I have received lots of support from professionals in the field. And then right now I'm collaborating with NACADA. We are going to create advising communities specifically for advising international students. So support their academic and career success. And so I think I'm excited about that. And then, so yeah, perhaps in the future meetings, everything, if any update, I would like to share with colleagues here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now, okay, Dr. Brooks.
Just a quick question. Is there any way you can share those upcoming dates in an email, or is there somewhere I can go to get access to that? I'd like to share that with my colleagues as well at the institution.
Of course, yes. I will be emailing you with a copy of recording and then also upcoming sessions.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions?
Krishna, I would just like to say that I've really enjoyed the conversations in the chat almost as much as the verbal comments and reflections of the speakers today, because I think one thing it does is really highlight that internationalization is not a monolithic process, right? And the one thing that we know about internationalization is that it really depends on your approach, the really unique institutional profiles and histories of those institutions, and how you translate that into your own internationalization on your own campus. And I'm speaking specifically for our HBCU colleagues that are here. Having worked at 2 HBCUs and now a PWI, I know there is always that resource issue. And so and let's say that's the elephant in the room. No one here does not understand why internationalization is important in any of the various strategies that we've been talking about, whether it's international student recruitment, inbound students, or outbound study abroad, or whatever. So we all get it, right? The thing that we don't all got is the resources to invest in what we all know to be true, right? And I found that coming to Emerson, which is a reasonably resourced institution, and in 7 years, we went from having 1 faculty-led study abroad program to 30 faculty-led study abroad programs. We went from increasing 300 international student enrollment to now almost 850 international students. And we've moved almost 60 faculty members through a faculty development studio, where we work with them on internationalization of the curriculum and also providing them with other inclusive pedagogical practices for curriculum, right? But this has all been done with a bit of intentionality. Not every institution has internationalization as a strategic priority of the institution. That also is leverage and currency and momentum. And so this conversation about the importance of it we all know the importance of it. And just the chats is just so powerful. Just what I'm reading in these chats, the various strategies and things that you all are doing. And it's challenging to do that when internationalization is not an articulated priority of the institution. It's a lot easier to do it when it's embedded into other strategic priorities. So I just want to applaud and take this moment to applaud all of our colleagues that are here, whether you're at a HBCU or not, but also I know how difficult and how challenging it can be. My first foray into international higher education was 20 years ago at Dillard as Associate Dean of Global Studies, and I was an office of one. I used to ask myself, what am I dean of? I'm dean of myself, you know, and running around trying to negotiate and partner with other stakeholders on the campus who were really amen corner to it. And then we had to figure out how to raise money, how to move money around, how to be nimble, you know, how to define it being internationalization for ourselves. And we continue to do that. And I know a lot of you are doing that where you are. So I'm just taking this moment to applaud you for what you do. And looking forward to hearing more about it. You know, this book is supposedly the inaugural book, but we all need to write more, and we need to engage more and tell our story as HBCU. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Tony. Appreciate it. Okay. Any other final thoughts, comments? We are almost top of our, hour of the session. Okay. Thank you so much. So that's all we have for this evening. You will be in touch. We'll be in touch with upcoming events. So in a couple of days, you will receive a copy of recording as well as the upcoming events or invitation for the next event. Let us know if there are any other topics that you'd like to cover for our fall webinar series. You will have a option to put your suggestion in the form right after the session. So again, thank you very much. Enjoy your rest of the day. Thank you. Good day.